One thing that's really trending in, we'll say, spiritual communities is the idea of a twin flame or a soulmate. And I wondered if you could share your perspective on that, because I mean, there's entire cults around just twin flames. Like, it's so wild to me that somebody thinks there's just this like one person that's going to complete them, and they'll stick with them through absolute fucking hell. Like, they're both poisonous for each other, just to like keep holding on to the idea that this is my twin flame. We're fated for each other. And I didn't know what your thoughts are on that, because the representation I've seen on it has been a dumpster fire.
I think you can guess what my answer is on that topic, right? I mean, obviously, look, I'm just speaking from my own personal perspective. I don't want to devalue other people's ideas or perspectives on that topic, because I'm definitely not an authority on love. I've never been married. I don't even have kids. Okay, I've broken up a bunch of marriages by making the wives cheat on their husbands with me. and I've definitely broken a couple hearts. Okay, so that's who I am. So I don't take me as the authority on love and long-term relationships, right? There are definitely people that are better at that than me. But all right, so okay, once again, the idea of twin flames, soulmates, and all that stuff. Look, once again, what are you willing to give up, or what are you willing to give in order to receive something? The idea that there's just this twin flame and you haven't found it yet, basically it prevents you from taking responsibility, because you're just going to look for that person and you're just going to go out and you're not going to work on yourself. Maybe you're even going to work on yourself, but once again, that twin flame is supposed to complete you in one way or another. Now, that's a pretty big ask. That's asking for eternal happiness or fulfillment, which I don't think can be found here based on the basic, workings of the psychic. But let's assume that person is there and they just fall from the sky or whatever, or you meet them at a grocery store. Oh, we were reaching for the same banana or whatever, right? First of all, gentlemen, if she's reaching for bananas in any suspicious way, you should be worried. Anyways, so all right, back to topic. All right, so what are you willing to give to have that person? And look, nobody imagines their twin flame to be a bum, right? So I'd say a guy that envisions his twin flame, she's like super hot, smart. She's like very feminine and whatever, does this and that and the other, right? She's a freak in the sheets, a lady in the streets, and all that stuff, right? And she's, I don't know what she imagines him, but I've read a couple of very popular romance novels, right? And there's like different qualities that you can discern, which seem to be universally attractive to females, right? Now, that's not an average guy. So what are you willing to give to deserve a person like that? And yes, love has to be deserved. Why? Because you're not a child anymore. I said in one of the earlier podcasts, Mother Nature has set it up in a way where the only person that's gonna love you unconditionally is, hopefully your parents, but after that, it's not gonna happen. As a woman, unfortunately, yes, the world will judge you mainly by your physical attractiveness. I'm sorry to break it to you. And I mean, listen, if females that are listening to this, I'm a guy. I'm not even half as aware of that as you are. You know that way better than me, right? And as a guy, you are valued based on how competent you are and what you can do for other people. And that's just the harsh truth of life. So as a guy, you have to think to yourself, what can I do for this woman? How can she benefit from me? Not just sexually. Every man out there has a dick, okay? And you're probably the best guy in bed and all that stuff, whatever you think. There's the guy that fucks her better than you, for sure. So what can you offer her? How can you improve her situation some way or another, right? And as a woman, what can you do for your guy? That's what you have to think to yourself. How do you raise his status? That's basically what he wants. And if you understand how to make that happen, then you deserve that guy. Otherwise, you don't. So twin flames, I think it's horseshit. It's bullshit. It's just another fantasy, just like many other fantasies out there. I'm sorry, but that's just my opinion. Don't want to hurt people, but that's how I see it.
Burst in bubbles with Frank White. It's funny when I think about like women and what they say they want. They want the guy who's 6 feet tall, you know, minimum 6 inches down there, and makes at least six figures. So it's kind of like the formula of what they're all looking for. But it's just what you said, like, what are you willing to become? How are you actually going to become a match to that? Because it's very likely he's not going to put up with your yeah,
Badass.
your you say badass or fat ass?
Badass.
Yeah, if all you can do is twerk and I don't know, take selfies, like, I don't know, what have you got to offer? What have you got to offer? It's a self-development process, like as within, so without. You want to attract somebody like that, you're gonna have to become somebody like that yourself, and in ways that are complementary to you.
Yeah, we attract what we are, not what we think we deserve. We attract what we are. That's what it is.
Yeah,